hope this video finds you in good spirits. I just wanted to share with you this new Squier Affinity Starcaster that I just purchased. When I first saw this guitar, the body kind of called to me, and I thought to myself, man, this would make a great jazz guitar with a few modifications. I really dug the configuration of the Starcaster, and I know the Starcaster is not known as a jazz guitar, but I think with a few mods you could really make this a nice jazz box. I really like the semi-hollow double cutaway design. It's similar to an ES335, but the offset shape of the Starcaster makes it a little smaller across the lower bout than the ES style guitars, and that makes it a little more comfortable to play. Also, it's a little thicker than an ES335. I hope you can see that. And that gives it a little more depth, and the body tends to resonate a little better than the smaller bodies, and gives it more depth of sound, closer to an arch top hollow body jazz guitar. Of course, it's not as thick as one, but it is thicker than a normal ES335, which I thought was cool. It comes with two inexpensive humbuckers, three-way switch, also comes with one tone, one volume control, and F-holes. And I got mine in black. It also comes in red, white, and a standard like sunburst. Also, the headstock on the Starcaster, as many of you know if you are fans of the Starcaster, is either you love it or you don't. And I gotta admit, I'm in the latter. I really don't care for the headstock, but I'm going to modify that, and I'm going to show you that too. Also, after the modifications are done, see what you think about that. So, I decided to pick one of these up. They're very affordable. There are two models. There's the Classic Vibe Starcaster, which has more appointments like binding, pickguard, two-volume, two-tone control. Has a gloss lacquer neck with the color on the headstock, and it has two wide range humbuckers. I think the Classic Vibe would be a better choice if you didn't plan to do many vibes and, many modifications, and you just wanted to play the guitar kind of as it is. But for me, this standard, because of its simplicity, just the one volume, one tone, and the standard size humbuckers better fit my needs for modifications. And since I only use the neck pickup 99% of the time, the standard much better fit my needs. So what I plan to do is I'm going to change the tuners. We're going to get rid of those inexpensive tuners. We're going to change the tuners, the nuts, the string trees. The neck pickup is going to be replaced with a Seymour Duncan 59, and new CTS pots and capacitors, new switch and output jack, all new wiring. So hopefully I can turn this cheap Starcaster into a great semi-hollow jazz box. And I invite you guys to come along and go with me as I go through the modifications. Okay, there it is. Let's get started. Starcaster build, and I just wanted to show you the body. We have the body all wired up and ready to go. When we did this, it was an easy job, and what we did is we put in new wiring, two new pots from CTS. We put in a new black three-way switch. We also put in a new black input jack, and of course we put in the new Seymour Duncan 59 in the neck, and we're hoping that's going to give us a really good jazz tone when this is all completed. And of course it looks the same as it did before, except for the chrome pickup in the neck. I left the original humbucker in the bridge position, because as I said earlier in the video, I only use the neck pickup 99% of the time, so this was fine, and I didn't see the need to take on the expense of putting a new pickup in the bridge position. Maybe down the line somewhere I might do that, or I might just put a cover on this one to have it match the neck. But anyway, we left that as it is. So there you have it. That's all wired up and ready to go. I decided not to bore you with all the wiring details and showing you all the wiring and soldering. I'm sure you can find plenty of that on YouTube, on the web. So I didn't think I needed to show you. So anyway, this is the finished product, and it's here ready to go. I'd like to add another note or two. Just while I have you here, if you ever have tried to rewire a semi-hollow guitar, you know that it can be a bear sometimes, and I'll show you here on this other model. On most semi-hollow guitars like this Ibanez, which I really dig, but as you can see, the guitars are so thin. And when you have to work through the F-holes, and you have two volume, two-tone controls, all the wiring, the jack, I'm glad that the switch is right near the F-hole. It takes a little bit of doing to get the wiring out and get it set up and get the wiring all back in correctly. And there are many videos on YouTube that'll show you how to do that, but it can be a daunting task for the beginner or for someone who's just trying to rewire a semi-hollow guitar. But, and I'll put that back, what I found when I went to rewire the Starcaster, because of its depth, because it's much wider than the normal ES335, there was plenty of room inside to work. Also, the tone control and volume control are right next to the opening of the F-hole, and man, it made it very, very easy to wire this guitar up, get everything back inside and in place. It was no trouble at all because of that extra space. It was really easy to work on, so I just thought I would note that. And for anyone who's trying to maybe do a similar thing on their Starcaster. You know what? There's something else I would like to just throw by you. I don't know why guitar manufacturers have not come up with a route in the back of semi-hollow guitars. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, once you cut into the wood, it's going to change the integrity of the wood and it's not going to sound as good as one solid piece. But most of these guitars, the pickups are sitting in a block of wood to help keep feedback to a reasonable level. So they're sitting in a block of wood anyway, so I would think that you could cut out a small route out on the back of some of these guitars and make it a lot easier for the customers to be able to get to the electronics and rewire them and change things out. So anyway, that's a whole nother story for another time. Okay, so like I said, the body is all done. The body is all wired up. We have everything in the place. Hopefully we did the wiring correctly. You can find schematics all over the web for any type of wiring that you might want to do. I just used the one that came with the Seymour Duncan pickup from the Seymour Duncan website. They have hundreds of wiring diagrams. Also, if you're one who would like to maybe use a push-pull pot so you could tap or split that pickup, that would be a good time to do that also. Very easy to do because it's so close to the F-hole and so easy to work on. So there we have it. Okay, I'm going to show you the modifications on the neck, and we'll keep moving on from cheap to neat. Okay guys, here's the modded neck. Just got this back from my luthier. See if you can tell the difference. Haha. If you look at the headstock, you can see where my luthier took off that edge that I really didn't care for that comes on the Starcaster. Did a beautiful grip. So anyway, with that being said, there's my modified neck. It has a much sleeker look, a much better look to me in the headstock, since I have to use this neck, than the original Starcaster Tomahawk looking headstock, which I don't really care for too much. Now here's the other thing. Also, let me say that this neck is smooth. The frets are level. I am going to polish them. They're crowned perfectly for a guitar at this price. The neck is really quite flawless. Really nice. I just didn't like that headstock, and now that's been taken care of. So we got a new nut coming, and we got new tuners coming. And also, since this is kind of no longer a Starcaster, since I've modded it up, I'm going to change the Starcaster logo here. And I'll wait and do it and see what you guys think. But that's the neck. It's back. It's been modified. That piece on the bottom there has been cut away. I'm going to do a little light sanding when I remove this decal. And then I'm going to go over the whole neck with just a little True Oil and polish, and the True Oil wax, and just give it a nice protective coat. Nothing real heavy, because the neck feels pretty good in the satin finish. As you can see, the frets are really in beautiful shape. There's no edges. Really great neck. I mean, for the price, you know. I mean, you get what you pay for, but here I think on the Squier guitars, you get a little more than you pay for. Okay, so we'll continue, and I'll get back to you and show you the rest of this modification as it goes along. Guys, how you doing? Here's the final project, all finished, all together. Got to tell you, I had a gas. It was fun putting it all together and taking some of my ideas and making them work out with the modifications. Came out really great for the money. It's a nice little guitar. It plays nice, sounds nice, and you can see that custom neck plate that was done for me by Philadelphia Luthiers. You can find them on the web, of course. Everything you need to modify a guitar or do some custom work or make it your own, you can find on the internet between eBay and Amazon and StewMac and Warmith. It's just a plethora of places and things that you can do to make a guitar your own. So I had fun. I'm glad that you came along with me for the ride. It's been enjoyable. As I said, there's the finished product. I got a little sound check for you at the end of this video. Again, guys, thanks so much for watching the video and taking the time to see my modifications. Hope you had fun, as much fun as I did, and I'll talk to you soon.